I'm live. It says I'm live. I'm not sure if I am though, because I am in a different type of broadcasting. So I get a little bit confused. I'm easily confused. So welcome. Welcome to the celebration of my 35th anniversary with Mary Kay. So in case you didn't know, but thank you for joining me. Look, in honor of my 35th anniversary, I wore my pink Cadillac sweater. And so I hope this is working. I'm in my phone. Oh, yes, it's working. Okay. So let me know if you're here by chatting. I don't know where it's going to show up because I'm in StreamYard so that I could take this live to my YouTube channel also. And so here we are. Thanks for being here. I just want to share some fun things about 35 years in this company, because I can hardly believe it, for one thing. I know when I started, so 35 years ago on this very day, I had lunch with Mary Jacobson, my recruiter, for 20 minutes. And I'm sure that night I forgot I was in Mary Kay. I probably didn't give it another thought. Once I signed, and I knew she promised me that I could earn $100 a month. And I said, okay, promise me also that I can quit in a year, because I will not be peddling pink jars for a living. That would be like so beneath me. And she said, oh no, you can quit anytime you want. And so, oh, look it, some people are on. Hi. I can quit in a year because I will
Wait a
not be
second.
peddling pink jars
Wait.
for a living. That would be like so beneath me.
I'm sorry. I
And she
turned
said,
it
"Well, no,
on
you
here
can-"
and I don't know what to do. Okay. All right. Kim, hi. Shelly, hi. Meg, hi. Everybody, hi. How fun. Okay. So back to the luncheon. You should have seen what I wore. I had this really big, flowery yellow and green skirt and top. You know, I was 24 years old. And so I sign, everything is great and well. But then I know I can't tell anybody because I didn't wear makeup. So I thought, how am I going to do this? Well, it didn't matter, because honestly, after I left that lunch, it didn't even matter that I was in Mary Kay, because I had a lot of stuff to do. I was the manager and marketing director at Capitol Hill Mall. And so I had to get back to work and get all that stuff going on. So that was it in March of 1986. And then Mary would call me every week for a silly meeting. And she'd say, come to this meeting, come to this meeting. And I'd say, okay, I'll be there. And I really had every intention of being there, but I never went. I never made it to the meeting. I was too busy. And so one of the biggest lessons I've learned in Mary Kay is called time prioritization. You know, we always call it time management. It's really not time management, because everybody gets 24 hours. You can't manage time. It already is there. They defined it as 24 hours. A lot of times I need 36. But 24 hours, what I've learned in Mary Kay is that when something is important to you, you will make time for it. It wasn't important to me. I didn't really know what to do, or that I was going to make $100 a month. She told me I was, but what was I supposed to even do, or how was I supposed to start? So I never went to one of those meetings. And then finally, I thought, I'm going to go to the meeting just to get her off my back. I got to just have her stop calling me. I don't think I can find time for this. Well, I went to this meeting. It was so much fun. One girl got crowned the queen for selling $50 that week. And whatever happened to me at that moment, I thought, I think I could be the queen next time. I'll sell 60. I didn't know how, but I thought, I'll do it. I want to be the queen. I've never wanted to be the queen of anything. I just want to be the queen. And I'm at this meeting and I want to be the queen next week. So talked to Mary at the meeting, and she said, you know what? You really should make plans to go to seminar in Dallas. Now imagine this. Okay, I joined in March. I've done nothing. I sold my mom an $8 gentle cleanser at cost. And so I didn't even make a profit on the $8 sale. And so, oh, look at all of you. Thank you. Hi. Thanks so much for being here. It's on my phone over here. I can see some people. So, okay. She tells me I should go to Dallas. And like, I haven't made any money. I haven't even done one thing, and she's going to have me go to a seminar in Dallas. Well, what I thought was I could go get a mall job there. There's a lot of cool malls there. I've got experience. I've been here 2.5 years. I think I could do this. This would be a really inexpensive way. And you roomed with 3 other ladies. So I thought at least I could take the last $600 I've got in my savings account and go on this trip. So I went. I would never do, I don't think I would do that today. I didn't even know my roommates. I got on the plane with these ladies. I didn't even know them. But I had a dream that I was going to find a new mall job. And when you have a dream, you will do anything to make it happen. So on the time thing, I make time for the things that are important for me. And so I went on this trip. I heard Mary Kay Ash speak for 1 hour and 15 minutes. And I sat there. I honestly, I was like, I can't even believe this. This can't be real. Like, no, I never left to go look for a mall job. I was mesmerized. I was glued to my seat, to those motivational speakers, to women who decided to take a chance on themselves and had really no business to get into Mary Kay, much like me. I really didn't have any business, but I wanted the benefits. And so once I heard Mary Kay talk about, wow, this is, we're gonna put God first, family second, career third. And I'm like, whoa, that's a little different. We're gonna follow the golden rule. Oh my gosh, I learned about the golden rule. I know what that is. And then all these women became my friends, like my roommates. We were best friends when it was over. And I sat there at seminar awards night and I watched women cross the stage. Now, I don't know about any of you, but I wasn't the beauty queen. Like in school, the only time I ever got like any recognition for anything was probably like on a dare, or if it was a joke. It was never, I was not the queen of anything. And I really didn't want to be the queen of anything. And I didn't want to draw attention to anything, but I wanted to win at a level that somebody would say, wow, there is something to her. There's something to her. So, I mean, besides just being able to manage them all. So I decided I was going to cross the stage that very next seminar year in the National Queen's Court of Sales. Yeah, I decided. Yeah, I'm going to be in the National Queen's Court of Sales. Now, keep in mind, I have not pulled my starter kit out of the closet. I haven't held a party. I haven't attended new consultant orientation. I've done nothing but go to seminar and get hyped up. And that's the other thing I know is success is not the mountaintop moments. It's what you're doing when nobody sees what you're doing. Like those mountaintop moments that walks across the stage, all of those big things, those are great. That's not really success. That's just a little tiny part of it. And that is a really short, it's a short time of motivation when discipline, daily discipline is what builds success. So I got on the plane. I switched my seat to sit next to Mary. Have you ever done that where like someone, or you had to sit by somebody you didn't like, or you weren't really that impressed with them? Oh yeah, I changed my seat on the plane and I plopped right down next to her. And here I am, done nothing. And I said, Mary, I'm going to win a car. And you need to write down exactly how I can do that. Could you write it on my legal pad? So she wrote it down. The plan was 3 + 3 + 3. It's the very same plan today. And you know how when you have to get a job and you get trained and you have to do these certain things and you have to do them right and you get so nervous. It's like, I gotta get this right because I want this job and I really want to get hired. I don't want to just make it through the training session and then get fired. I really want this. And so we all do those things. We follow that checklist. We follow that 3 + 3 + 3. It's just a different checklist for you. And literally, she didn't say, do you think that you might attend new consultant orientation since you've never shown up for that? Do you think you could hold a party? Like, why don't you start from the start? No, I'm going to win a car. Thank you. I'm going to win a car.
And so then you know what you do when you get a big goal like that and nobody believes that it's going to happen? You have to keep telling them. You have to keep sharing it, and you have to keep putting it out there because it holds you accountable. So I had told all these people I'm going to win a car. So I'd go through, and it was a 3-month program at that time. Now it's a 4-month. So I go through the 3 months, and you've got to get these certain requirements met. And I had met probably 70% of them. And on the last day, I'm like, wow, I've got one day to finish this up. Mary had been on a trip. She got home. She called me and she goes, how'd you do while I was gone? She was at leadership conference for 5 days. And I go, well, nothing happened. You know, speed of the leaders, the speed of the gang. She was gone. Why am I supposed to be working? So she says, okay, I'm going to pick you up at 9 tomorrow morning. I want you to schedule 10 interviews, 10 recruiting interviews. So I did. I called these people. I said, hey, my director's making me do this to win my car. And literally, we got in that Cadillac and we zipped all over the city of Helena from 9 a.m. And the last order came in at like 5:40 p.m. We had to get to FedEx. We had no computers or anything, no credit cards, none of that stuff. All cashiers, check, money orders. Mary Kay doesn't have a debt department. So we make it to FedEx and we don't have the address. So I called my national sales director, Dolly, and I'm like, Dolly, I know you don't know me, but this is Shelly Olson. I need the mailing address for winning my car. So she gives me the address, and the FedEx pilot was standing right there going, can I get my last envelope? And I go, oh, wait, take a picture, Mary, of my envelope. So she takes a picture. We jump in the car, and I will not repeat what she said because I can't say it on screen. I'd probably get shut down. And we didn't really know each other that well, but I thought, oh, I don't think this is good. Never, ever join Mary Kay and get 6 recruits, which is half of the requirements in the very last day. Not a good plan, okay? But the next day, she loved me because I won a car. First one to win a consultant car in the state of Montana. I'm like, oh, wow, really? Because, see, that's the other thing. Your perspective is everything. When I was in Dallas, that was my only perspective. All these women walking across the stage, getting their keys to cars. I'm like, well, I guess if you're in Mary Kay, you win a car. You have to. So I guess that's a requirement. I'm doing it. Well, that was my first car. It came in. It was a, what do they call those things? A Forenza, an Oldsmobile Forenza. They don't exist. And you would laugh now if you saw that car because it was really square and it had roll-up windows and you had to press the lockdown and turn the radio on. No cassette or anything like that. It was just, but it had a new car smell. I'd never had that. Like, we didn't grow up with new cars. And so I got in there and I had the new car smell and I was like, oh, this is heaven. Like, I couldn't even believe it, really. My mom said, oh, honey, you're in a cult. Like, Margie DeRay sold Mary Kay, and it wasn't like this. Like, something's wrong. You are not going to get a free car. They don't give free cars in life. So I never said another word to my mom till the car came in. And then I called her and I said, you and Dad should come over and visit for the weekend. They showed up and there was my car with a great big, huge pink bow on the back. And they came into my apartment and said, wow, somebody got a present, like a car. And Dad knew, but Mom didn't know. And I said, Mom, that's my free Mary Kay car. They really gave me one. And they pay 85% of the insurance. And of course, they buy the license plates. So I just picked up, I don't know, number 18, I think. And I went to get my license. I had to make an appointment and you go in and this most delightful man helped me with my plates. And he said, well, I don't know why there's a blank check on here. I've never had this happen. I've got to call my manager. I said, okay. I didn't say anything. He came back and he goes, well, I guess these are paid for. And I said, well, Mary Kay does that for me. So is that amazing? All of my life that I have owned a car, they have paid my insurance and my license plates. Imagine what that has saved me. And so was it easy? No, but it was simple. And so I got my car and then I kind of thought, well, I've arrived. I'm just going to kick back. I worked hard. 3 months, I want a car. I got to kick back. You cannot kick back. You cannot rest on your laurels. You've got to keep going. Do you think for 1 second you win a car and then you just sit down and rest on your laurels and they let you have it still and nothing happens? You do no production and you're not working and you've got executive-itis and you're kicked back at your desk with your feet on the desk? No. I think I did that for like a month. And then I went, wow, we didn't do so well. So I got back out there, started asking for referrals. Really, truly, the women who helped me build my business were not my friends, because imagine you're my friend. I don't wear makeup. I know nothing about this stuff. I don't even have any fashion sense, kind of a little bit. I could match things. But then you're telling your friends you're a Mary Kay beauty consultant. I can imagine what they were doing behind my back, rolling their eyes and going, oh my gosh, I wonder if we should get her in to see somebody. Something's wrong. But the women I didn't know very well, I could book them. And so I would call Debbie and say, Debbie, I know I met you here and we don't know each other well, but I'm a Mary Kay beauty consultant and I would love to treat you to a free facial. So she would come and have a free facial and she would buy everything. And I'd be like, you're going to get everything? Oh, wow. Okay, great. I was terrible. Did the same thing when we would go and interview people, and Mary would say, now we're going to do some practice interviews. You need to bring some people to me. We'd go to JB's Big Boy and sit in the corner booth and order tea. And then the person would hear about Mary Kay and they'd hear, gosh, this is the greatest company. It's this and this and this. And then at the end, they'd say, oh my gosh, I never knew about this. I think I'm going to do it. And I'm like, you're going to do this? No, this is just practice. Oh, no. You don't need to do this. This is just practice. And we are not in the business of twisting arms. So thank you very much, but no. So I had to learn from Mary that I didn't get to talk at those anymore. So I was just there to take notes and learn. So after that, then, I really enjoyed my business as a very part-time beauty consultant driving a free car. And then 5 years later, I became a sales director. I wanted to be a sales director before. I didn't do the work. If you don't do the work, you don't get to be one. And so I didn't check off all the boxes. And I would try. And then I'd get through the 4th month and we didn't make it because I would find something to be more important. So lesson, make sure if you have a dream and a vision and something that you value, when somebody asks you to do something or to go somewhere or to meet them for something, or will you do this or will you do that? I was such a yes person. I wanted everybody to like me and I wanted everybody to be happy. And so yes. Make sure you're saying yes to the things you value, the things that are important. So particularly, I had a dream to build this business. And I was saying yes to a million other things that were not building my business in any way. And so I learned through Mary Kay, through all of my mentors, that really saying no and doing what you're supposed to do is better than going and being with people who know you're not really with them anyway, because you know you need to be somewhere else. So you're not even present to the moment. And then just recently, not too long ago, I learned from one of my sweet clients that clear is kind and unclear is unkind. And so I had to think about that many, many times as I was saying yes to something I should be saying no to. So always ask the question, is this going to take me in the direction of my dreams? Is this in line with what I value most? Or is this just an emotions, circumstance-based decision? Because I don't really feel like being responsible. I don't really feel like moving in the direction of my dreams. I don't really feel like living with my values right now. But I'm going to choose to do it anyway. Did I do that all the time? Absolutely not. I made a lot of mistakes. But I love clear is kind, unclear is unkind. And as I started practicing that a little bit, I had a consultant, one of my dear consultants of over 20 years. One time she came over and I was doing the clear is kind, unclear is unkind thing. And I usually ask if I need to sugarcoat things or if you can just handle the truth. And I try to get permission, but sometimes I don't. And I didn't get permission. And she goes, I don't know what happened to you, but you're not as nice as you used to be. Seriously, she said I wasn't as nice as I used to be. Okay, so fast forward. My first car, but I have to go back and tell you about my first red jacket because we're really building red jackets in our company right now, which is just a mid-level of leadership where you recruit a few friends, you recruit your daughter because you know she needs a side gig and some extra money. And so when you get 3 team members, you get to be in a red jacket. I got to show it to you. This, I don't have an agenda and I don't have a plan. So this right here is our red jacket. Now I want to tell you about my red jacket, okay? Because I wear this with jeans and stuff. This is my own. And I wear this sometimes because it's so cute. And so anyway, my red jacket, because I didn't really want a red jacket. I didn't want a uniform. I wore a uniform in Catholic school. I don't want a uniform. So in order to cross the stage at seminar as a red jacket and a car driver, which was that next seminar when I wanted to walk across the stage and be a queen. Okay, well, I didn't have a red jacket. So that week before seminar, one of my clients came over and I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. See the picture on this brochure, this red jacket? I need one and it's not going to be here on time. She goes, oh my gosh, my mother sews. She's a seamstress. She can take a photo, right? Just take a picture out of a magazine and sew it to perfection. And I said, seriously? I said, okay, let's go get the fabric. Let's do this thing. So we get the fabric. She takes it home. It took like 3 days to sew it. The night before I'm flying out on that 6 a.m. flight, I go pick up my red jacket. Okay, a kindergartner could have sewn this better. I hope she's not on here right now. I don't think so. I don't remember who it was. Her mom couldn't sew. No, she was not a seamstress. I had crooked pockets. It was horrible. The sleeves were not even. So one was longer than the other. And when you got there to seminar, the best part, we don't do this now, but the best part was every time you won something, you got a sash, you got a big ribbon. So I covered the whole thing up with sashes and ribbons and nobody knew how crooked the pockets were and that they were, the jacket was just a mess. And so that was my first red jacket. For those of you that are trying to get your red jacket, I would suggest ordering one from the company, not trusting one of your customers whose mom is a seamstress. So that was my first red jacket, my first red car, my first Cadillac. Okay. My first Cadillac, I called my sister Sandy and I said, since I can't have any babies, this is going to be my baby. You would be coming here to help me with my baby since mom's gone now. And you need to come up here and help me win my pink Cadillac. And so we made an arrangement. I was just telling the guy at the gas station about this. He was saying something about people working for him. And I said, oh, my sister worked for me. We had a blast. It was like a big sorority here. We worked from sunup to sundown and we moved mountains. And that was the biggest unit club we ever did. We did 800,000 circle and won that Cadillac. And so that's how I guilted her into coming here and working with me for a year was you've got to come because this is my baby. But when that Cadillac arrived, I can clearly see it like it was yesterday, driving out to Grimes Motors, the old Grimes Motors, and just like really in awe that this dream of mine really came true. And it seemed to take forever, but it doesn't. It's like forever back then was like a year or 2 years, but time is just so weird. Suddenly you're there. Where are you going to be in 5 years? How old are you going to be in 5 years? And what will you be doing? And what dreams will have come true? And in a year, where do you want to be? And those are things that I'm always asking myself is, where do I want to be? What new talent do I want? What do I want to learn in the next year or two? So I drive out, I get that pink Cadillac. And once you're in a pink Cadillac, you just can't get another car. You have to work at it. And so I did. And sometimes I fell short because it's an averaging thing. And then the next month you have to make it up. And sometimes I got that executivitis back and I'd put my feet up on the desk and pretend like I was important. And then I'd go, wow, you are not. The speed of the leader is the speed of the gang. And your next superstar, you haven't met her yet. You better get out and meet her. You better get some referrals. And so my first customers, think about 1986, when Mary Kay was started in 1963, hardly anybody knew about Mary Kay. And for them to give me their friends' names, now, if you get a referral,
or if you give us referrals, they at least know what it is. I would have to call and say, hi, Carol, this is Shelly Olson. Debbie gave me your name. She really enjoyed her Mary Kay facial. Mary what? Well, Mary Kay, the one with the pink Cadillacs, because the pink Cadillacs were out at that time. No, I've never heard of Mary Kay. Well, it's a skincare line. So I had to make sure I explained it all. And then they would graciously invite me into their home. So look what we're doing now. We are still coming into women's homes. It's just that we're on a screen. And it's so simple. Now, I will tell you, if someone had said to me, now, Shelly, I think it's a really good idea if you would start doing things virtually. Don't go to women's homes anymore. Don't have them come to your studio or your castle. Just get on the computer. I would have totally hands out. I'm not doing that. We build relationships. We hug people. We love on them. And I will not be doing this virtually. Well, guess what? Sometimes God shows up and plays a joke on you and says, yeah, you are going to do this virtually if you want to be in business. So pivot, 30 seconds, make a plan. How are you going to do this? Okay, let's do this and let's do that. It has been a year of tremendous growth. And my greatest joy has been watching my new Zoom babies, the women who have joined on our Zoom events, not ever having a live Mary Kay experience, meeting us on a computer and trusting us that we could take them to their dreams. Those women have courage. The women in my unit who said, okay, I'm on board. I'm going to do this with you. Until we open up, I will do these virtuals with you. And so those are my heroes, all those women who are still working their businesses and figuring out a way and finding a way. Okay, so what's next? My first top director's trip. Have you ever gone somewhere and you just know you don't fit in? You're just like, this was not supposed to be. Why am I here? How did I get here? That was how I felt on my first top director's trip until the singles night. So everyone who doesn't bring their spouse or their spice, or they don't have a spouse or a spice, they all meet on the first night. And then we get together and we make friendships. And so then I had all of these people taking me everywhere and acting like I was their little sister. And so that was when I went to Rome and earned the trip to France, because that was the year Sandy worked for me and we did the 800,000. And so it was France and Rome. And then after that, I got to go on a Greek cruise. And, those, like, traveling is not my biggie. It's not my biggie. But the people are. And so if I wanted to rub shoulders with and learn lessons from the top women in our company, I had to get on one of those trips. And so it's like, okay, I'm going to win a trip. So again, check off the list. And they pay for everything. They have top security. You go on this world-class vacation and you never touch a bag. And you don't have to figure out where you are for customs. Never would I do that. I did that in 1983 when I backpacked through Europe for 3 months with 8 pieces of clothing. And this time they told me I could take 8 pieces of luggage if I wanted to. I would never do that. But, it was just, even though it seems like, that's really just for rich people. No, this trip is for people who do the work and win and stick to it. And we are winning the trip this year to Barcelona, Spain, because my little nephew, Zach, plays soccer for Barca Academy. And it's associated with the soccer, whatever it's called, that whole culture in Barcelona. I want to go and check it out, because what if he someday plays for one of those teams? So we are on target to win the trip this year. So I'm really excited for that. So let's talk about, okay, I'm trying to think. There's so many fun stories. I was talking to Dolly, our National Sales Director Emeritus, who's retired, about one time when she if you had to win things. So I won a shopping spree to this really elaborate shop
very expensive gowns, and we got like special prices. And I bought this off the shoulder black and white dress. It was just stunning. And it was like probably 90% off, And so we got to go on that shopping spree all day. And we had 2 men who carried our shopping bags. So I felt like Pretty Woman. And then another time we got to train with Susie Woodward, who is a fashion predictor. And so she talked about all the fashion and how it doesn't matter what size you are. You just shop you check the rack from a size 2 to a size 18 and just find whatever you can, and it might fit you. And she was right. She was right. I don't even really know what my size is. I go in and I just start shopping, and sometimes I don't get the right size because I get one that's too big or whatever. But, it's just that whole day of learning about fashion, and that every 7 years, fashion changes to an actual, like there's the romantic culture, what's it called? It doesn't matter. Anyway, there's every 7 years it changes. And so the trends change. And then, a million different things in Dallas. And then every January, I get to go to a different location in the United States for a leadership conference. And that is the top leaders of our company, all the leaders. That's the top 1.5% of the company. Those are the only people there. I get to go there. And again, I'm like, wow, how did I get here? Like among these women who are so amazing, and they're my friends, and they will listen to me, and they will listen and answer and problem solve, because we don't complain. We don't gripe. We are world-class problem solvers. That's what women need to be. And then the other thing that I love about this business that comes right in the starter kit, you will raise your emotional IQ just by being in Mary Kay, because we listen to podcasts and YouTubes, and we're always sharing something, and your emotional IQ goes up. You just become a stronger person. Thank goodness, because of course I've done this business married with 2 stepchildren part-time. And I've done this in another long-term relationship, but I've done this single since I got divorced in 1997. I kind of forget. And it's, I do a lot of things by myself, for myself, but it's made me a stronger human being. So I love that part of Mary Kay. And some people say, well, don't you ever get lonely? You should meet somebody. You should get a boyfriend. Why don't you go online? And you should, and you should, and you should. I'm like, I will when I'm ready. When I'm ready, I will. And no, I don't get lonely, because I can reach out to customers. I can reach out to my beauty consultants. I can reach out to my sales director friends. So I really carve out time for me to be by myself, just because it's so... There's a noise. Oh, never mind. It's my neighbor taking my garbage to the street. I am surrounded by heroes that take care of me in this neighborhood, let me tell you. So I do want to share just what I call, I guess the first thing that came out of my starter kit, I will have to say, is hope. Honestly, like if you think about a starter kit landing on your porch, and right now it's $130, which gives you your website for a year, your pro-pay processing for a year. And then you get $400 worth of full-size retail products. So there's that part. That's what I paid $85 plus shipping for. Now it's $130. And then you can also do a $30 e-start, which is what a lot of women are doing today. It's just an e-start. You can become a beauty consultant with $30. You get your website, you get your pro-pay processing. But I will tell you, the minute you sign that agreement, send in that e-start, whatever it is, somehow you get this hope in your heart that something's going to be different. And maybe you have a great life. I had a great life. I loved my job. Literally loved it. But somehow just having an extra $100 a month made a difference. Somehow for you, maybe having an extra $400 a month would make a difference. So hope. I want to talk about my gift of hope. So that's what came in my starter kit very first of all. Then the next thing that came in my starter kit, really, after my first party, was a little bit of belief. And even when I didn't believe in myself, Mary believed in me, Dolly believed in me, and my sister consultants believed in me. They would say, "You are so good at this. You sold $47. Wow, you're a superstar." Seriously, $47 and I was a superstar. Yeah. So, hi Dana. Hi Jackie. Oh my gosh, we have people. It's just so fun. Okay, so back to my gift of hope. So, this reminds me of what I got in Mary Kay. I got personal growth. The G stands for growth. Personal growth, a sense of self-worth, self-respect. I got that in my starter kit. I got income, extra or full-time. I wanted $100. Let me tell you, I got a lot more than that. The F in gift of hope stands for family and unconditional love, because I have a beautiful family that I was born into. I was raised in Leave It to Beaverland. I was raised in the greatest, most loving home. But I have a second family in Mary Kay. Unconditional love by all of my sister consultants and sales directors. The T in gift of time is, again, time. Being able to stay present to each moment. I will tell you that I quickly embraced the mantra that you've heard me repeat if you've ever been around me. People are more important than the plan. People are more important than the plan. If I'm with someone, they're like, "Oh gosh, I'm taking so much of your time. I need to go. I should let you go." No. You are it. There is nothing more important than you. And when you have a flexible career like I do, there is nothing more important than time with that person. And so I like not being rushed when I'm with somebody. The O in gift of hope stands for others focused instead of me focused. We know it's a me focused world. I think it's become more others focused in this last year with everything that everyone has gone through. But we want to be others focused. I got that gift when I opened my starter kit, because if I hadn't been others focused, I never would have succeeded. The F stands for flexibility. We don't have territories. We have no quotas. You can join Mary Kay and never hold a party, and we still love you. It's crazy. And with no territories, that was great. Even in the beginning, I could drive to Spokane, have a party at Sandy's. I could drive to Moscow, Idaho, have a party at Sherry's. I could go to Seattle. Tommy had a party for me. I was going all over Montana, certainly, to have parties with my college friends. And so that was great. But we have absolutely not one border now. All we have to do is walk into our office or walk into the bathroom, get away from everybody, flip our phone on, and we're virtually live with someone. The H in hope, half price. All the lotions and potions I can possibly put on for half price, because that's what we get. And then O is for only self-employed people truly get all the possible tax deductions there are. So, that isn't a secret. Everyone knows that if you're self-employed, you get a myriad of tax deductions that are legal. And so it is worth it if you need tax deductions to be in Mary Kay. We have some women who have a lot of money. They don't join Mary Kay for the money. They join Mary Kay for the friends, for the positivity, for the fun, for being a part of something, the connection. The P in gift of hope stands for passion, because it fuels the spirit like nothing else. And then also prizes. If you've ever been with me or around me, or if you're in Mary Kay, you already know that there are a zillion prizes. Hi, Colette. Colette's one in my fan club and one of my great clients. And now she's a brand ambassador. So I love it. The prizes, endless, from diamonds to everything that is in my home. my dishes. I have all those beautiful colored Fiestaware dishes I call them my happy dishes. All my flatware, pots and pans. I have a Le Creuset pan that I just decided to get because I didn't know what else to get. And you get to pick from this little catalog. And I'm like, I should get this pan. This looks really cool. Well, I didn't know how to use it. So I went down to the pan handler and I said, how do I use this pan? Because I see them all over your shelves. And she goes, well, this is what you do. And on the pan there, it was $400 to buy one. I want it. It sits in my kitchen all the time. It's red. It's beautiful. And you know what? Maybe you don't need a prize because I was not prize motivated. I don't want a prize. My first prize was a makeup mirror. And one side was regular and the opposite side was magnified. I gave it to my mom and I said, Mom, this is for you. I don't wear makeup, so I don't need a makeup mirror. That was my first prize. I gave it to her. And then the E in Gift of Hope stands for excitement, energy, and the desire to be exceptional. And when you're around people like Mary Kay women, I was on the phone with one of my friends today and she's like, do you ever feel guilty when you just don't do anything? Because she goes, I got my COVID vaccination and I'm so tired. I just can't do anything today. And I said, I've already learned from Dolly that some days you have to do nothing. Because when we are so excited and there's so many lives to be changed, so many women who are struggling to find a decent product, so many women who just want someone to connect with them. How can we rest? But you have to. And so I said, you are resting today. You are doing nothing. So grab a book and go rest. So it is challenging when you are born to run, when you're raised to run, when you're raised to be a champion and to do your best at everything. It's tough to settle in and slow down and take a breath. But I also have learned that in Mary Kay. So that's what I wanted to share with you. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I have missed. I could tell you about my one party one time where I went and I was so excited. And this is one of my favorite stories to share because it ended up so beautifully. But throughout the whole thing, it was like, oh my goodness, seriously? I don't know about this. I had my free car. Mary called and said, I can't do this party. It's out in Blue Cloud Heights or Gruber Estates. And one of those, now dress nice. And this is a really upscale neighborhood. And I was so stressed out. Colette, because Colette's a realtor and she knows that area. So I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be great. Well, there is an area up in the mountains that isn't in an established neighborhood. And that's where I was. And so in the meantime, as I'm driving there with all ivory, I learned from that lady, that fashion coordinator, if you want to not be intimidating, and people told me I was intimidating, so I smile all the time now. It's called the Mona Lisa smile. And a friend of mine told me I was never going to get business if I didn't learn to smile because I looked way too stressed. And so you know how you kind of walk around and you're just like this, really intense, because I'm kind of intense in my brain. And so I just learned to put a Mona Lisa smile on my face, and people think I'm crazy sometimes. But anyway, she told me to wear all ivory if you don't want to be intimidating. So I got this beautiful ivory suit, ivory hose, and ivory shoes. It started raining on the way out there. So when I get there, we don't have a driveway and we don't have a sidewalk. We've got mud. So I go up in the mud and I'm happy. I'm excited. This is going to be great. I don't care. I get up there with 2 bags. We had 2 big bags that we would haul. One had the mirrors, one had all the tubes, and they were clear, like test tube looking tubes of demos. And the steps were not connected to the house. It was a little mobile home, and the steps weren't connected. And so I kind of walked up the steps, and I've got my bags and I'm hanging on, and I lean way over because I had to knock on the door. And so I'm back here and I have to lean way over and knock without falling over. And she came to the door and she goes, oh, let me help you with those. I go, oh, no. Because I knew if I let go one of those bags, I'd lose my balance. So I gracefully flung myself across the opening and I didn't fall into it. And I made it in. And then I did the facial, and she got a phone call about her ex-husband who had escaped from prison, and he could show up at any time. And it was horrible. I was so stressed out. And so I finished her facial and I said, here's what you can get if you want. And why don't you just contact me if you want? And she whipped 120 cash out of her back pocket. And she said, I want that basic plus basic and you keep the change. It was 114. She gave me 120. She goes, you keep the change for your trouble. And I'll never forget it. Her name was Nora. And she, you know what? Can you imagine what I did for her that day? It would have been anyone going there and putting those things on it. We put the old mask on, it had to dry, and then the freshener, and then the moisturizer, and the foundation that was cream. Remember the thick cream? We didn't have liquid. You just caked the cream on and hoped that they wouldn't get a bunch of zits from it. And so that was one of my fun facials. And I have so many amazing memories. And of course, the most important thing, I always tell people, if they took all my money, all my diamonds, all my prizes, all my cars away, I would still do Mary Kay for the people. And you are those people. You are here tonight. Somehow I've met you through another beauty consultant, or I've met you personally. And you have no idea of what you do for me and the joy that I have in my soul because our paths crossed. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. And be sure to let your beauty consultant know if this is something you'd want to do. If just this little eensy teensy part of you goes, I should try it. What do you have to lose? You can quit anytime. And the worst thing that would happen is you'd get some half-price Mary Kay. So talk to your beauty consultant. Let her know you'd like to know a little bit more. And again, thank you so much for being here with me tonight. I love all of you. And I hope to see you soon, live and in person. Bye-bye. In this place, I don't know how to end this, actually. So bear with me. And I'll figure it out somehow. Oh, here, I found it. Okay, bye-bye.